other things to get you through the day. Job, music, friends.
Maybe we could go up to the lake, rug up, and we could probably get some really good quality time together in.
Sure.
My pregnant daughter and I have had an accident. I need emergency medical assistance. When the sun goes down, it's going to get really cold, really fast. The buddy's probably having a really hard time keeping you warm. And then we'll leave for help.
What?
We've got a storm coming in.
I'm having contractions. If anybody can hear me, please come here.
Hungry. And the baby's hungry.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Frost, arriving from Cleopatra Films on digital platforms and Blu-ray October 11th. I am Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. And as you see on the screen, a special guest, y'all, Devanny Pinn. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I hope you guys are enjoying the trailer, and I hope you're going to enjoy the film too.
Definitely. So thank you again for your time. We had a little bit of a mix up this morning. My issues, but so thankful you're here and you're amazing. And it's a pleasure to talk to you. I've been a fan for a while. I've known you for a bit.
Yes.
Well, on the screen, I'm familiar with you. I haven't met you in person. We haven't had the chance to work together because I'm a filmmaker as well, but
very
love
cool.
your work.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And I'm glad we've been connected for so long and now we get to actually chat it out. So it's so cool. Thanks for having me.
So again, thank you for coming through. I had your amazing husband on yesterday, Mr. Brandon Slagle, extraordinaire, super talented guy. And we talked a little bit about the film. So I'm curious your take as well. You're the star and you're also, producer as well behind this project. What was it for you to turn this into your next project? And I think that you guys were coming out of COVID times, as it were, as we all were.
Yes. Yeah. And that's really what it was. So I did help produce it. The project was brought to me and then to Brandon from the executive producer, James Cullen Bressack. And it was the height of COVID and lockdowns. So I think everyone was looking to be creative and not really sure how to go about doing that during those times. To top it all off, I was 6 months pregnant. So yeah, I had actually shot a bunch of films during COVID, but at that point I was showing. And so I had thought at that point that I would, slow down and just take the time with COVID like everybody else was. But I'm a workaholic and James knew that. And so he actually worked out a deal with Cleopatra for a new film. And they were interested in telling true stories. So James had scoured the internet for interesting concepts and came across an article. And I can't say what was in the article because it's the big spoiler in the movie. But if you have seen the film, then you know what I'm talking about. And so he sent me that article and was like, "Are you down?" Because he's really dramatic that way. And so so I looked at it and I was like, shit. Normally, like the more offensive, the more interested I am. So like there was that side of me that was like, yeah, let's do this. And the other side of me, which was like, this very pregnant, chick. So I was like, I did a little bit of this at first. And then ultimately I got back to James. I was like, all right, let's do this. And, and we did.
Awesome. Congratulations on having the baby. I
Yes.
assume it's here now, right?
Yeah. Yes, she is here.
Awesome.
She's perfectly fine. Everything's good. It was really intense filming it actually, because, normally, and you're familiar with my work a little bit. If you're not familiar with my work, I do really dark stuff. Can I swear on here?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm former military.
Okay.
It slips all the time. So fuck it.
Okay. So yeah, so I do a lot of really dark stuff. That's kind of my jam. And with this, I was kept like kind of going into my zone and doing my thing, and then I would like feel the baby start freaking out. So it was like constantly having to go back and forth and like check myself, make sure I was eating right, making sure I wasn't getting, my heart rate wasn't moving too much. And just constantly like having to battle on this. And so it was a very unique filming experience for me.
Yeah.
And we really did shoot in all the elements. It was hailing, golf ball size hail at one point. We had snow. We had like 80-degree weather one day. It was ridiculous trying to do this. So very physical, very hands-on project while, you know, in a unique condition, and then throw in COVID on top of it. So, you know, we like challenges, and, you know, this crazy team, they're like, let's see how many things we can try to overcome in one set. And we did.
Wow.
So who knew? And here we all are.
Amazing.
Offending audiences everywhere.
I love it. That's amazing. I've been doing interviews for years, you know, 20 plus years, and as a filmmaker as well. But I don't think I've ever ran into the situation where the writer, the director, and star were married, but also pregnant at the same time. So this adds a whole new layer. Was Brandon very like careful, like, you know, on set, and just how was that? Did you have to like push him? No, I got it. I'm ready to do another take. What was that like interaction like filmmaking?
It was a weird, like you're exactly. It was a very weird dynamic. So, you know, Brandon, first time father, I first time. So it was just like I was going back and forth between like, I want to do my thing and just get into it. He was like in the zone. We're both, you know, we work very well together because we're both like workaholic and very, very focused, and really will do absolutely anything for the shot. And he's used to pushing me and kind of backing me to do the craziest weird shit to make sure we get it on camera. But this one again too, so he would start to get into the zone and really get into like what we needed for the film and for the shots, and then like freak out a little bit, like, is everything okay? So sometimes I was reassuring him, and sometimes he was reassuring me. And then to top it all off, our DP was a father of 3, and so he kind of would fill in the gaps where Brandon was a little bit ignorant too, and monitoring my vitals and making sure I had what I needed as far as being at that point in the pregnancy. And my whole team was just super supportive and really, really great, creatively, professionally, and personally.
That's wonderful. I love it. I'm a big, as actors, you know, as creatives, I'm an empath. Yes. Wholeheartedly. So that's beautiful that you had a great set family to take care of each other. And I just think that's such a crazy, interesting dynamic of husband, director, wife in labor, well, not in labor, but pregnant. And then just, you know, making sure, because we all push ourselves, you know, as creatives to get certain energies. And so I could see a tenderness there. I'm like screenwriting a film in my head already now based off of the Devanny Brandon Slagle story now. I love this. So tell me about the production working. You guys chose this script, you're filming it. From what I understand, it wasn't such a long shoot, but you were away, small crew, because we were in pandemic times. Just tell me how about that was, and then your actor creatives, collaborators that you worked with, and just some memories from set and creating Frost. Absolutely. So what I loved about our team was we got to kind of assemble the best for this one because it was COVID and because I was pregnant, I was super high risk. We really needed the tiniest cast and tiniest crew possible while also getting the quality that we needed for this movie. And so we put together, I mean, from the top up, from James, who's the EP, all the way to, you know, like our single PA. Everybody had worked on major, massive sets and no budget sets, everything in between. So they had the experience that we needed, and they were very prolific at their jobs, but at the same time, they're all indie artists too. So where I think a lot of people got jammed up in the pandemic and creative was a lot of these big guys, when you had to strip away all the extra money, all the extra crew, all the extra everything, and just put one person in a micro set and like a few hands-on to meet COVID regulations, they didn't know how creatively to do that. So you have like all these big studio guys kind of being like, what do we do? And then meanwhile, us indie kids who are used to working with what we have, I think we really thrived in that situation. And we set out to make a movie that, while we were catering to the elements that made sense during COVID, we wanted to make a movie that would hold up beyond COVID era.
And so we're like, how can we tell the most contained story intentionally? And so the idea was to make a film that was claustrophobic instead of restrictive. And everybody was on board as far as that goal and how to creatively think outside the box to get there. And I think that's why you have as tense of a movie as we do.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And that's so amazing. I just, as a filmmaker and as a creative that gets to talk to other creatives about the process. I love it.
You start to get all like passionate and like buzzy.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's inspiring. It's an energy exchange. I dig it.
Yes.
So from what I understand, it's now available again, everybody, on October 11th on digital platforms and Blu-ray. You had a screening recently. Brandon said he couldn't make it, but I think you were in attendance. What was that reception like? And now with it going to open to everybody on October 11th, what do you hope the fans get from Frost?
Well, usually when we make a movie, Brandon was there at the beginning to intro the film, but then show that the baby's fine. Then he took her to go to bed. So I did stay. I stayed to watch with the audience. And usually when we do a screening, we kind of know what we want out of the audience and what reactions we are going to get, and it's just making sure everything is in alignment with that. With this one, we didn't know how people were going to react to it, so that was part of the process for me. And so I really went on the journey with everybody else. And the first few reviews that came in, everyone was like, so I didn't know sitting in an audience how that was going to go. And towards the end, when we were done, the lights came up, everyone kind of looked at me like, ah. But then we talked about it and all was forgiven and we're good. So it was a very unique experience. Only 2 days ago, we just had our premiere. Shout out to NoHo Cinefest for having us last minute, squeezing us in there and doing a special presentation for our world premiere. Thank you guys. You're also a great indie passionate crowd. And Gustavo, who's the director over there, he's a big indie artist fan and supporter. So we love them over there. It was pretty packed theater. We were well received. We stressed everybody out, traumatized everybody. And then most importantly, which seems to be the consistent feedback, everyone says it kind of stays with you and they keep thinking about it.
I love that. That's what Brandon was saying. Because he wasn't able to stay because he had to do his dad duties.
Yes.
But I love that when you can take film and affect people like that. And
that's it. That as a creator, when you tell a story for an audience, the best thing that you can do is affect them. That's what you're setting out to do and to make. And so as much as this kind of doesn't fit in any of the molds per se, I think that is safe to say that was our goal with this movie, was to affect the audience. And I think that we accomplished that.
Let's go. So excited. Everybody check out Devanny Pinn, Brandon Slagle, the whole squad on Frost. There you go. There's also an album. There's like a soundtrack tied to the release on Blu-ray. I love that.
The vinyl.
Oh, yes. And the vinyl right there as well. Amazing. Everybody, October 11th on Blu-ray, digital platforms. Get the vinyl, get it all. And Devanny, thank you so much for giving me your time. How can the people reach out to you? I'll put the links in the description below. But before you go, just for people that are generally driving while listening to my podcast, how can they check you out?
Yes. So I'm an indie fan and a horror fan as well as a creator and actor. So I am super hands-on. I mean, he'll tell you I love to chat about it. So please get in touch with me. I am at Devanny Pinn, DevannyPinn. That is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I love talking shop. So please get in touch. If you see the film and you love it, get in touch with me. Please tell people about it, because we are, this is a tiny movie. We want lots of word of mouth. If you were offended by this movie and you hate it and you hate me and everyone, please get online and tell people about that. That's great too.
Yes.
Again, so thank you very much. I hope that you do check out the film and love it. Thank you, Cleopatra, October Coast, for having me. And thank you for bringing me on and the opportunity to chat about it.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Devanny. I will be in touch. I know Brandon has Battle Saipan. I'm going to have him back to talk about that.
Yes,
and as your projects come along, I would love to chat it up with you again. So I will be doing all the follows at Devanny Pinn as well, y'all. So make sure you do that. I am Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World.
Rule the world. Yes, they do.
There we go.
I would chat with you afterwards, but
No
thank
worries.
you so much. And I love the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Bye.